think about the two hardest relationships you have. They're relationships you have by blood and usually marriage. But you don't get to choose your family. But you do get to choose the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So doesn't it behoove us to make a wise decision? I mean, why enter the covenant handicapped? Why enter it as a fixer-upper, a project? I mean, is that when you were a little girl, is that what you dreamed of? You said, oh God, when I turn 22? Oh Lord, if you could just bless me with a fixer-upper, I'll fix it up like your best daughter. I'll dress him nicely. I'll speak time to him. Remember, you got to ask yourself, here's the question, is this God's best for me? I mean, did Jesus die on the cross so I could get a fixer-upper? A project? A renovation? Mr. Emotionally Distant. Mr. Emotionally Distant. As much as you yearn for conversation, connection, communication, and you're going to form a covenant with Mr. Emotionally Distant. Number 2, Mr. Wandering Eyes. You know, he can't help himself. He can't help himself. It's summer. It's springtime. He just like pretty women. He can't help himself. You trying to make it work when you walking down the street and Mr. Wandering Eyes is undressing every woman who walks by, and you want to ask me which principle to use on him? Number 3, Mr. I have an addiction and I don't want to deal with it. He may be Mr. Right, he's just not Mr. Right now. The next person, bad boy you're not supposed to be dealing with, Mr. I can't take ownership. How in the world are you going to have conflict resolution with someone who won't take ownership for the role they played in the conflict? How's that going to happen? What principle do you use on him, Chris? How do I make that work? Yeah, I came to sessions 1, 3, and 4. How do I make that work on him? Here's the next one, Mr. Commitment Phobic. Mr. Commitment Phobic. You guys have been dating 12 years. Every time you bring up marriage, stop it, don't rush me. Rush me. Always in a rush. He'll say something like, why can't we just be? What does that mean? What does B mean? I know that's the letter after A and the one before C. But how does that work in the context of a relationship? You know, we're just going to be. We're just going to float up and down the tide. What principle do you use on Mr. Commitment Phobic?